Hello and welcome to today's webinar, Connected for Success, How Ford Pro and Verizon are Transforming Fleet Performance, presented by Ford Pro and Verizon Connect. I'm Manuela Arias for Automotive Fleet, and I'll be your moderator for today's event. I encourage you to ask questions during the webinar at any point, and we will try to address them all. However, if we do not get to yours, don't worry, you will be contacted by email with the response after this event. I am joined by our speakers today, Velko Severkovsky, Ford Pro Channel Manager, Vadim Rodin, Solutions Architect at Verizon Connect, and Sean O'Brien, Safety Consultant at Verizon Connect. Thank you all for being here. Velko, I'll pass it over to you to kick us off.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Velko Severkovsky with Ford Pro. And as mentioned, I'm happy to be here with Vadim Rodin and Sean O'Brien from Verizon Connect to talk to you about how we are working together to support your business. We've heard in the fleet industry, we often hear that knowledge is power, but in reality, the fleet management is having data isn't enough. It has to be data that you can trust. And our goal today is simple: to show you how this collaboration can help drive your business to success by focusing on 5 key pillars: data accuracy, reliability, uptime, safety, and control. We're excited to share that Ford Pro and Verizon Connect are bringing you OEM-grade data directly from the source. Our collaboration harnesses the power of Ford vehicle data directly into your Verizon platform. So you might ask yourself, what does that mean for me? It means Ford Pro Data Services provides direct access to high-quality OEM-grade vehicle data. This data is sourced directly from your vehicle's built-in modem, eliminating the need for any aftermarket hardware. This means no extra installations and no added complexity. Ultimately, this gives you a comprehensive and accurate view of your fleet's performance, health, safety, all in one place. In today's fast-paced world, fleet data and telematics are absolutely essential for optimizing efficiency and enhancing safety and controlling costs. However, not all the data is created equal. The quality and source of your data directly impact the results you can achieve. Ford is actively transitioning to a software-defined vehicle approach, ensuring that more and better data comes directly from the OEM to Verizon Connect. And this integration of data and telematics services is a critical step forward in our business. How does this powerful system work? It's pretty straightforward. Ford Pro collects a wealth of data directly from your vehicle's built-in modem. This data is then securely sent to Verizon Connect, where it is processed into their advanced telematics solutions for your fleet. This entire process is facilitated seamlessly via an application programming interface, or API. It ensures a smooth, efficient, and reliable flow of critical information from your vehicles directly to your management tools. Our first key benefit is vital: data accuracy and reliability. With Ford and Verizon Connect, you can eliminate guesswork and embrace that precision. OEM quality data, the data you receive, is validated and calibrated by Ford engineers, ensuring the highest levels of accuracy and consistency. Our comprehensive data set is where you gain access to a full range of vehicle signals, including vital powertrain information, EV-specific data, and safety metrics. And this comprehensive data set provides better vehicle insights to help you manage maintenance proactively and significantly reduce unpredictable downtime, which is key. For internal combustion vehicles, powertrain health data is fully supported with details like fuel level and tire pressure, battery voltage, intelligent oil life, and fault codes with severity, including diesel-specific support for diesel exhaust fluid compliance. For your EV fleet, signals deliver crucial information on charging status, percentage, and rate of charge, charger faults, and estimated time to full charge. Ultimately, better data means better decision-making on your end and greater confidence in your solutions, moving away from guesswork. Insights as they happen is where you'll receive up-to-the-minute data, enabling timely decision-making for your operations. Accurate reporting of vehicle status enhanced by OEM data significantly boosts the value that Ford Pro vehicles can deliver to your business. Moving on to our second key benefit, seamless integration and reduced downtime. We've designed our vehicles for easy connection, ensuring maximum uptime for your fleet. Beginning in 2020 model year, we have built-in modems. The Ford modem is already integrated into the vehicle right from the factory. This means no aftermarket installation is required, saving you time and money. Being an OEM component, it's the highest upstream point for data collection, ensuring data integrity. Our software-defined vehicles allow Ford to translate and provide this data in a meaningful way directly to you. No disruptions. This built-in approach helps you avoid vehicle downtime and the installation costs often associated with aftermarket hardware. There's also less risk for data disruption from disconnected or lost devices that sometimes happen, and providing a more reliable data stream. Warranty coverage also. For added peace of mind, the Ford modem is covered by a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. Finally, our third key benefit focuses on enhanced security and control, ensuring your data and assets are protected. Ford Pro is continually expanding its security and vehicle control offerings. You'll benefit from Ford's robust security protocols designed to protect your valuable vehicle data. Critically, data is sent only to the provider you select as a client, maintaining your control. You have the power of control in this. The embedded modem is built in and inherently difficult to tamper with. So no more knocking it out accidentally or it not being replaced after a scan at a local dealership or repair facility. You select as a client, it is very difficult to tamper with, and it adds another layer of security. We continue to expand our capabilities as well because Ford Pro built the vehicle from the ground up. Ford's engineers can continuously develop an ever-expanding command service with capabilities that third-party hardware simply cannot match. This ensures that your fleet's data and control features evolve and improve over time. We really appreciate you hearing that out, and thank you all for your time and listening. Now I'm going to pass it on to Vadim for our next section.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. So what I wanted to do is just to give everybody a high-level overview of what Verizon Connect brings to the table. So my name is Vadim, sales engineer on the Verizon Connect side. So really a technical resource for all of our customers about our software, our hardware, and any other questions that might pop up. So what is Verizon Connect? At a high-level overview, our goal is to provide you unified operations or a view of all of the assets and operations you have in the field. So that's everything from helping you automate workflows, taking care of all of your safety. That means both vehicle safety, that could go into video safety as well, provide you location services, increase the efficiency of your organization, help you with compliance. So think of your IFTA, think of your some OSHA compliance and some over-the-road FMCSA compliance, and finally, help you utilize everything. And we do that a lot with the help of our Ford partner. The big benefit here is that within a day, we can start visualizing your data in our platform, and we can do that without any installation, simply a VIN number. So let's get into some of the features and how we use that for data. So first, from kind of a basic perspective, think of mapping, a live view of every piece of equipment you have out there. That's your Ford vehicles. Think about your trailers. Think about your yellow iron or any other equipment that you have out there. We're able to bring in that location directly from Ford in real time, show you on the map exactly what it is, and more importantly, we'll let you know what it's doing and what it has been doing. So not only do you get to see the location, but you get to see things from everything from idle time potential fuel levels, battery levels. You can all see that from a single pane of glass, helping you respond more efficiently, dispatch more efficiently, or find the right asset for the right job in near real time. Additionally, we'll take all of that data that we're providing for Ford, layering it on some additional data that we can provide to visualize your business in a dashboard type function. So that's everything from utilization to fuel costs, basically giving you a visual overview of your account, letting you quickly make decisions that are going to be impacting your business, from safety, again, to utilization, to fuel efficiency, and everything in between. Visualizing your data allows you to make better, smarter decisions with your fleet. Something else that we're doing is we're now applying AI to your data in a variety of ways, but one of those is through our operational insights. So we're pulling data from Ford, your location, your vehicle activity, your vehicle operations, and we're basically unleashing AI on your data. And what this allows us to do is essentially present you with a daily task list or a daily insight into your fleet activity. And we're answering questions you might not have even thought to ask us yet. So this is everything from letting you know, hey, Group A has increased speeding above and beyond their historic or the rest of your organization, or letting you know that certain vehicles are visiting certain sites more often than they have historically. Hard brake, hard acceleration data, engine and idle time data, letting you know it's increasing or it's decreasing compared to the rest of the group or through historical data. Basically information that normally you would have needed BI tools, you would have needed to be able to dig into reporting, visualize, or crunch those numbers. Our AI is doing that for you and presenting that to you in a daily fashion. I'm really excited about that. Additionally, we are able to use Ford vehicle information and pair that with our video product. So how does this help us? So basically taking information from Ford, like your hard brake, your hard acceleration, your cornering information, pairing it with our video and using AI to monitor the road and monitor the vehicle, we're able to provide you a holistic overview of the safety behaviors of your drivers. So we'll monitor for hard brake acceleration and then double check, hey, was there some kind of a cell phone usage within the cab of the vehicle? We're going to take a look and see if there was a hard brake and if maybe there was a tailgating event. We'll tag those events for you. We'll bring those events and we'll alert you in real time when those events take place. And in this particular case, where normally we would have had to install some sort of tracking device in the vehicle, we don't need to do that. Again, we bypass the need to install a vehicle tracking unit. The only thing you need to do is attach a camera with a single cable into the vehicle. The rest of it will be taken care of by Ford by bringing some of that information into us. Okay, so those are just some of the technologies that we're offering today. We're launching a lot more, especially with the AI capabilities that we're able to bring to your fleet, monitoring your drivers, monitoring your fleet, monitoring your safety, and being able to proactively offer you data without you even having to ask for it. Now, all of this are great tools. And those tools are only as good as any of the processes that you may be putting into place. So I'm going to hand it off to Sean. He's going to talk a little bit about our safety posture and some additional things that Verizon Wireless can provide.
Thanks, Vadim. Really appreciate that. And also to Velco for getting us started today. My name, again, is Sean O'Brien. I'm a safety consultant for Verizon Connect. And I got to tell you, this is truly an exciting opportunity when you see the combined potential and the overall value of the Verizon Connect and Ford OEM partnership, especially when you see how technology continues to enhance safety for our customers, which in my view has always been the core driver of operational success. I'll never forget, I had a former president of operations that led our dedicated transportation business when I was in the commercial vertical of my career, who would always tell his team, safety, service, and cost. And you kind of think about a game of dominoes. You have to get that first one established. You have to get that first one right each and every time, each and every day that we were running routes for our customer. The partnership itself between Ford Pro and Verizon Connect also highlights what I feel is a very critical point. When I look at the future of fleet safety, it's truly dependent on a collaborative ecosystem. Some of what is here presented on the slide, where you think about it, fleets, technology vendors, and insurance providers, brokers, we need to do much more in terms of solution integration. We had a little bit of feedback there, I apologize. But we have to do a lot more together to drive a much more integrated solution in how we evaluate performance and how we sort of steady the ship when it comes to, I feel, what really matters, and that's prevention. Because the one thing that we do know is that risk is always in motion. And that's the power behind our Connect safety ecosystem. And it's why Ford Pro plays a vital role in how we're helping customers drive to a safer tomorrow. And in doing so, we're focused on what matters most, protecting our people and protecting our communities. And so using the technology the right way, we help customers achieve what we believe is a shared goal. And that's to significantly reduce, if not eliminate, serious and fatal roadway collisions. That's why we come to work. That's why we do the work, because it all ties together in how we ultimately look to accelerate many of your different business outcomes. And really, when you think about it, reduce that time to value when we talk about your investment in technology. When we talk about our mission statement, just kind of going into a little bit more detail about what it means helping you drive to a safer tomorrow, we just didn't come up with that overnight. We were very intentional about coming up with our mission, because it's a very continuous approach in how we work with customers to focus more on really your pain points in your business process. Not so much time is spent, even though it's important, and even though Vadim spent some time there talking just about features and functionality. How you engage with the technology, and I think more importantly, the consistency at which you do it will ultimately determine your return on investment. And as most of us know, it's all driven, it all starts with leadership. I've always said that safety is leadership born, but employee led. So those are two very important or very critical factors if you want to effectively change your culture and use technology to begin implementing new types of approaches and how you connect, how you show care for others, how you coach, and how you champion safe driving behavior across your entire organization. So be proactive, bring your folks together. And if for no other reason, Gallup survey data consistently shows that close to, and this is a big number, close to 70% of your workforce could be mentally checked out, just running through the motions. Or on a lesser scale, lesser percentage, they could be physically acting out. And that's just something, when we think about engagement, you just can't ignore. Recently, we released a white paper to the marketplace, and I think this was more in the back half of last year, called The Road to Fleet Safety. And included in that white paper was a quote from one of our safety partners, the Bill Sims Leadership Company. And he discusses the power of positive reinforcement to benefit engagement, and says specifically that the number one driver of employee safety engagement is not a bigger 401k, it's not a pizza party, it's not a safe driver belt buckle. All of those things are important, but what's most important is a meaningful conversation with your boss. Think about that. So I want to talk about revisiting what we say is your baseline. I want to talk a little bit more specifically on why it's important to evaluate your business process before installing technology. This means, and yes, I'm going to say this, stop spending money just for a moment to document your business process. You want to make sure your problem statements, or what you believe are your problem statements, your opportunities, you want to make sure those are measured, and you want to also make sure they're qualified. Otherwise, technology alone is only going to magnify your current issues. Every fleet, I've always said, like a fingerprint, every fleet, every culture is going to be a little bit different. So make sure your investment aligns with what works best for you and your business. And of course, a great way to get that started is to benchmark both in and outside of your industry. And that's something that Ford Pro and Verizon Connect can do, working together to help you, really help you get ready for that next step when you're ready to do that. I think one of the most important areas in your business process that I usually focus on with customers is onboarding and training. Because getting it right the first time, as I always say, it really does matter when you get that part right. Just to provide you a quick example, whether I was working in commercial transportation or I was within a field service fleet, our data consistently showed that new hires less than 1 year of tenure, so less than 12 months, represented a disproportionate level of risk, often accounting for roughly 20 to 25% of all of our injuries, despite making up only 10 to 15% of our workforce. And then when we drilled a little bit deeper, on average, 30% of those injuries were the result of collisions. So I mentioned prevention. If we prevent the collision, then we prevent the injury. We protect our bottom line even further when we think about liability and workers' comp related costs. So this is about a process shift in terms of mindset in our approach to technology, not just about a hardware install. And when you really think about it, collisions and turnover are often the result of failing to educate drivers on why technology is being used in the first place. Often a step that is missed. When drivers don't understand, when drivers don't understand sort of the how and the why of telematics, especially when we think about video, add video to telematics. If we're not explaining the importance of privacy and the controls that we have in place, all of this, when you think about it, as it relates to the development and to the overall success of each and every one of your employees, it's going to lead quickly to a lot of friction. It's going to create a lot of waste in both your safety performance and employee retention. And those are costs that a lot of us know already that add up very quickly. Some of the numbers that I'm seeing, depending on, I guess it really comes down to complexity. It comes down to the profile of your fleet. It comes down to job training that's required for the position you're hiring for. But I'm seeing ranges of $8,000 to $14,000 per driver to go back out to the street and recruit and onboard yet another driver. In field service specifically, I'm seeing turnover rates as high as 100%. So getting it right the first time really does matter. And all too often, the inconsistency in how we engage, specifically at the point of onboarding, can quickly build, and this is really a term that was coined by a gentleman named James T. Schultz. He talks a lot about how it quickly builds into very high organizational cholesterol. And to demonstrate that, Verizon Connect conducted a case study, and this involved almost 2,000 long-term customers who had shown zero engagement with their telematics investment, zero engagement with their investment for at least 3 consecutive months. Again, these are longer established customers, so more than a year they've been with us before, but at least for a minimum of 3 months, they were showing zero engagement. We had our customer success teams proactively come together. They essentially provided sort of a level of intervention for our customers. They guided them to activate just basic alerts and reporting features. That's it. And it was that simple action that helped refocus their leadership, that helped re-engage their frontline leaders, those working directly, those being impacted each and every day in support of operations. And the results, when we measured performance just 12 months later, pretty significant. The segment saw double-digit reductions, including a 34% decrease in excessive speeding. And that correlates very strongly with crash risk or future crash risk, as well as a 26% decrease in excessive braking. So I ask you, why is all of this important? Well, because this case study, it's not isolated, nor is it a technology-specific issue. And that's kind of how Vadim sort of set up my introduction. And to kind of reinforce that point, I was speaking with a major auto liability carrier not too long ago who shared some pretty interesting information with me. And he said less than 5%, think about this, 5% of their client base is effectively utilizing telematics technology. You just saw an example, just one example that Verizon Connect presented. Nearly 60%, 60 haven't even configured appropriate alerts or reports. So the point here is that action, your action, right, is always going to speak louder than your words. But your employees, they have to be empowered to lead safety across your entire organization. And it's hard to ask them for any, I call it voluntary effort, towards safety if they don't have the support of their leaders, or they don't understand ultimately at the end of the day, what is the score? And those are all things that Verizon Connect with the power of Ford Pro can directly help you with. I wanted to conclude, Velko, if it's okay, or wrap up my part. I didn't have a separate slide on this, so I'll be quick. But I wanted to share what happens when we do see customers directly and consistently engage in their people, in their technology investment. And so we're seeing on average, just talking more financially, across, and this is really across several industry segments, we're seeing double-digit reductions in both collision-related costs. That's roughly 20% reduction in collision-related costs, as well as insurance premium offsets or coupons for insurance of slightly over 10%. And I have to say, when you think about those percentages, when you start thinking about very large auto loss liability expenses, for some customers, it's hundreds of thousands. For others, it's millions of dollars. So these percentages represent huge savings. And the good news is that Verizon Connect just released our 2026 Fleet Technology Trends Report. So a lot of these numbers, some of which I just shared, can be viewed. And that's something I think Velko and Vadim, we should be happy to include from today's webinar. So with all of that said, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention. And I'm going to turn it back over to Velko to help us close out our webinar today. So Velko, back to you.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. And thank you, everyone, for your time today. You've heard from Ford, you've heard from Verizon, and you've learned how we are working together. We hope that you took away a lot of information from this webinar and can see how our collaboration can help you manage your fleet in a more effective and efficient way. Please let us know if you have any questions or how we can help you connect your fleet and take advantage of this powerful collaboration. Here you'll see why it matters, our Ford Pro and Verizon Connect benefits. Again, we'll go over that. There's no device install, which is critical. That keeps your vehicle on the road and you're able to connect with clicks of a button rather than having to install hardware onto your vehicle. That relates to no uptime. The unique OEM insights are coming directly from the OEM, which is important. So that's reliable and consistent to help power that Verizon platform, and always on asset location and connection, which is great. No more accidentally on purpose having the plug-in devices get knocked out by drivers or service techs who are working on the vehicle. You'll have a line of sight to that vehicle at all times, which is super important to know where it is and what's going on. Again, thank you very much for your time, and we'll happily answer any questions that are in the chat.
Yeah, great presentation, guys. We do have some questions, so I'll go ahead and kick this off. We'll start with, how does my Ford data connect to Verizon Connect system? It's up for grabs, whoever wants to chime in.
Well, I can jump in from the Ford side. So what we do is we take that modem data that's being transmitted from your vehicle, and we send that API feed to Verizon directly. You'll have the power to select which vehicles you want that feed to, or that data to be transferred from within our Ford Fleet Marketplace. So once you quickly set up an account in the Ford Fleet Marketplace, it's a few clicks of a button. That doorway is open for that data exchange, and we send that data to Verizon via API.
Does the cell/satellite coverage change versus the Verizon GPS units? There's another audience question that we had come in.
I can answer that one. So from a cellular reception perspective, to even kind of elaborate a little bit more on that question, the amount of data that's actually being sent and the type of data that's being sent does not really require, your latest, your 5G services or anything like that. Think of it as like text message sized pieces of information. So in 99% of the time, it's going to be the same, regardless if you go OEM or whether you go with any kind of an aftermarket solution. There might be some fringe cases with some roaming arrangements in some fringe areas and geographies, but across our customer base, we really do not see a difference between aftermarket and OEM.
Thank you, Vadim. Another question we had, is this only offered on Verizon Reveal?
Our OEM services are available on any of the platforms that we operate. We're just talking about Reveal today, though.
Okay. Now we have a little bit of a more in-depth question for fleet monitoring. What tire health tools, more than tire pressure, do you have that can be used to plan tire replacement?
Sure. So I answered that one. And then as of today, our approach to any kind of tire management is going to be done through our regularly scheduled services, our PM offerings. It's also going to include visual inspections, including something like photo evidence through our DVIR platforms, and then being able to not only submit that information in real time or monitor that information in real time, but also integrate with any kind of a third party where there might be particular work orders for tire management or something along those lines, and being able to integrate into those platforms.
Okay, we do have another vehicle question. Is your telemetry one-way and vehicle monitor, can it be used to disable the vehicle or to put a vehicle in a safe condition?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So the approach that we're taking, again, as of today, the approach that we are taking is we did not want to be able to interfere or interact with the vehicle ECM. We don't want to be able to send any data to it. We don't want to be responsible for any kind of data collision or any kind of issues that might pop up. So we are really more of a read-only type of solution where we will pull data, we'll provide that real-time tracking. In the case of, Ford, they're going to be sending us that data in real time. There's no really worry about disabling any kind of a VTU in that particular vehicle. But we don't like the concept of interfering with vehicle operations.
Okay. I do see a follow-up question to that. What Ford vehicles are capable of this type of direct connection?
Great question. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Vadim. Ford vehicles in 2020 model year Ford began building our vehicles with embedded modems in them. So from 2020 model year moving forward, we're able to make this type of a connection directly to Verizon using our API and our embedded modem transmitting that data.
Awesome. All right. Well, great presentation. That is all the time that we have for today. So for those of you who submitted a question and have not been answered, we will follow up with you via email individually. We hope that you enjoyed today's webinar. I want to again thank Velko, Vadim, Sean, Ford Pro, and Verizon Connect for today's presentation. I also want to mention that this webinar will be available on demand on the Automotive Fleet website at automotivefleet.com/webinars. That's automotivefleet.com/webinars. Thank you all for joining, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.